Hello, welcome. My name is David Sangweni, and today I'll be taking you through on how to set up a private EC2 instance in AWS, and then using certificates generated, create a VPN, access the private EC2 instance, and then the final part is we'll do an end-to-end setup. So let's get started. So this is the overall architecture of what we'll be going to do. So first, we'll create an EC2 instance, it's security group, a private subnet using Terraform. And then the second part of it is we'll use EasyRSA to generate certificates, and then using AWS VPN, access the EC2 instance. And then the final part is we'll automate this end-to-end. So let's get started. Touch. I'll create my main Terraform file here. I need to access it. I'll start by setting up the Terraform, providers. And so this is it. It will be for AWS. Source is HashiCorp. For version, let's see what's the latest version that's available that we can use. It's 5.76, so we'll set up here the same value. I think that's okay. Then the next part is be setting up AWS and then provide the keys. So the provider, AWS, region. For now, we'll use the US. Let me use EU. I'll provide these values later on. But let me set up my logic here. So first, we'll start with, we'll create a private VPC. Then the next part is we'll do a private subnet. Then the next part I'll do the private upsell. And then finally we'll finish with the key setup. So let's set up the VPC. We'll give it a name. You can get the tutorials on the syntax to use here, or rather the name to use there. in the documentation, and this will give it our own name. So what do we need? We need to set up a CIDR block and a tag. For this, let's use N72.16 0.0. We'll do class B/16. Let's enable DNS hostnames. Yeah. I mean, you can decide to disable, enable. For now, we'll just enable. It's optional. By default, it's usually false. So this tag will target the private VPC. That's okay. Well, another thing that you can do is you can do Terraform format, just to format the code to arrange them well, or you can also use Terraform validate to check for any syntax error. So for now, it's telling us it's because we've not run our Terraform. It's pretty early in the stage to be running Terraform initialization, but for us to use validate, we need first to initialize. As it's initializing and downloading the latest file, we can continue. So the next part is to set up the subnet. This will be a private subnet, so let's just name it so. We need to provide a CIDR block. So we'll use the previous one, but we will split it up here. Sorry, one. So that if you want to have our public one, you can just do a .2 here, and they'll be both within the main VPC, the main CIDR block, and then the next thing is we need to attach this to this ID. The way we go about it is VPC ID. You take this dot this, sorry, and then dot ID. So that would be for the ID that was generated. We need to put this in a zone, so our availability zone. Where did we set this? We can decide to take this, and then this is the A or B. You can give this a tag. So we'll name these as private subnet. The next thing is will be to set up our app server. Or now we can test that command of Terraform validate. valid. We'll give it this name, app server. So here we need to set up, let me just put my flow of thought here. So we need to set up MEA, that is the Amazon image machine instance, I think, yes, Amazon machine instance. And then we need to put the type. Subnet, and then IP, key, and then we'll also need to provide storage. So for Amazon machine, put image to that. We'll have to get that name. I'll show you how to do it, and then the machine, Amazon machine image usually varies depending on the region where you want to run your instance. And then so here we're going to send the instance type. A subnet will be picking this subnet. Be picking its ID. For IP, be anything, any value in here will do. Sorry, here. So let me give it .11. We also need to attach this to a security group. Did we create a security group? No, we didn't create a security group. So let's just go ahead and create a security group. I'll just name it a private security group. Give it a name. Description, but not necessarily, but you can just put it so that it's well tagged in AWS. Then the VPC ID is, we'll take the ID of the one that we've created above. So for security groups, we need to define ingress and ingress. That is the traffic that will be incoming and outgoing. Because this is a private server, we'll just open up everything. Though not good practice for a public instance. So from port, we just put it to 0. 2 ports. We'll also set it to 0. protocol. This is to allow all the protocol, and then the CIDR block will just to be for everything in this VPC. We'll do the same for ingress. Then you can give it a tag. So we define here our security group. It's an array that is, if we had multiple security group, we'll have set them here. Because this is just one, we'll set it up. We'll set it up there. We'll need what else are we missing? Our storage and key. So we need to give our server storage. So root block. The volume size will be, we'll set it up there. The volume type, can set it up there. So note we can create our variables, and then that's a good practice, and transfer these hard-coded values there. Let's just do this. See, let's just do that. Attach variables. .tf. We'll start with image, and then default. Whatever value we'll give it there, you can come. Next, we do the instance type. I want to do a T2 small because it's just for this tutorial purposes. Can also move this IP. The size and type also. Mm, 512. Let's do 512 is big. Let's do 50 GB. Let's go with the most common. This is the GP2. So disk size is. I can migrate all of this, but for now, let's remain with us. Now, the critical part here is we need to create the keys that will attach to this app server. I'll create that in a separate folder. Let me call this key pair. So first we'll have to define the encryption type that we'll be using. So define encryption. We'll do both private and public key, and then save it. So let's just call it this key pair. Okay, there's several algorithms that you can use. I'll go with the most common one and the one that's usually referred in AWS documentation. This is the RSA. $14.96. You can be able to check the several instances, encryption types that they have. Let me check the HashiCorp documentation. So we have these. There's several. We'll just go with this one, the RSA 1496. Give it a name. Let's call it this Davis DevOps pair. Public key. To be this. The TLS private key pair. Then these are public, so it will be a public key. Then we also need to define for the private key. The private key will be saved on our local machine. The public key will be attached to the AWS instance. Sorry. This one, we'll save it on path. You need to define the path module here. I think I'll create a directory called sats. This is where certificates will go. The name that will be generated here, that PAM. I hope I'm correct on this. The content of this file, sorry. You can go read about public key infrastructure to know how public and private keys work. Let's give this file permission. Which one should we use? Okay, this will do. And then we also need to save the public key. Define the path module here. We can give it a name. We give it a public key. Its contents will be a public file. We can give it higher permissions. I think everything should be in order here. Let's check that syntax, Terraform. So something is amiss. Okay, it's okay. Oh, the local file provider. It's okay. We'll come and install it in our main TF. Let me just check the syntax. The syntax, everything looks okay. We need to come and attach that file generated to our instance. Yes, the key name will be this. This key pair. And since in our key private pair we have referred to a resource called local file, we need also to install it in our main TF. That is here. Let me check the version that's available. 2.52. We haven't defined our me, and we'll come to that later. Also keys. Let me just check. Okay, I need to initialize this again. The configuration requires provider. Cannot retrieve available. So I think we need to go lower on this version. It's the previous version. I'm not sure if this is the cost, but let's just try it. No, this shouldn't be the cost. Let me just check. What am I missing? Oh, the name. Let's return to the latest version. This. Oh, okay, yeah, that's good. It was just spelling. So I'll need to provide the key pair and key pair. It's not advisable to put the secrets here, especially if you're going to check in your code. So there's a long command I got from AWS that you can use to get the AMI, that is Amazon Machine Images. Let me just paste it over here. Bless EC2, the region. I want an Ubuntu. And then the output table. I'll put it into a table. When I run that command, I should be able to get all the list of Ubuntu in this region. It's not running. Let me just confirm. I don't think that was necessary, but I was just confirming that I was logged in. Okay, I don't know, it's taking long. Oh, there it is. So there's so many. I'll just pick a random one here. Yeah, that should do. I'll set it up here. I think we have everything apart from the key and secret. I've already logged in, so I don't think I'll need these ones. But for case you might, let me just remove them. Now let's run this. Fingers crossed. Let's do a plan to see what will be found, the resources that will be spin up. Something is amiss. That validate should have caught that. Yeah. Inappropriate attribute ingress. So it's from to -1 the side block. I don't know what I've missed. Could this be it? Inappropriate value attribute to ingress. Value for ingress set to object required. Let's validate again. Okay, I don't know what I'm missing. This is ingress. Let me just Google this. copy that. But in our case, let me just remove this description. Allow everything. Okay, so it will be this. Sorry. So it will be AWS VPC. Yes. Is it? Yeah. Let's pick that cider block. Okay, you can put that. You can allow everything. Or just allow everything. Let's validate this. Okay, interesting. What was different? Rest from ports, to ports, protocol. Is it the IP? Probably. Terraform plan. Something is amiss here. Around interpretation. File name. Keep here. Cannot include string required. So local file SSH. Set the path module. You've set the sats. Is a sat folder. Then let's keep here. Oh, it's the key name here. Security group in our app server. We can remove this. Need to put the ID. Sorry. Let's validate this one again. Syntax is okay. About planning. Good. Planning is okay. This might take a while. Guess will come up after it has finished spinning. Okay, it has finished, and I've just logged into the EC2 instance to check. You can see the instance has been spin up with its subnets, and this is a VPC subnet, and let's see the security group. Yeah, these are security groups. This is the default one that has been created by AWS. That's not ours. And then, yeah. So the server is up and running. You cannot access it. So the next part is we'll be generating certificates and then create a AWS client that will be able to connect to this server. Okay, Jenny, this will be on part 2.